Before we go into the joys, the absolute joys of being a West Ham fan and that never-ending good news, I just want to do something quickly and talk about followers. So it looks like we've got about basically the people that watch this video, about 70% aren't following the channel. It's free to follow. If you follow the channel, well, straight away you get notifications of our videos, which are daily, but also you get entered into a competition where you're going to win a free West Ham shirt, home or away, new kit for next season. It's going to run every month for the whole season. So, as I say, it's free to do it. Just click on subscribe. That's it. That's that bit out of the way. Right. I'm going to be honest. I've really wanted to keep a positive, upbeat feeling about this summer. It's very easy, I think, to get sucked into the sort of negativity and panic and worry. We've done it so many times, and actually the club have actually come quite good in the end, I found, especially last summer when you think about how things dragged on. But I actually felt that we did some decent business. So I am trying to maintain that, okay? But I'm going to be honest. This news has really, really, really annoyed me. Like I'm actually furious. Like when I first read it, and I still am, and I've tried to get a little bit more clarity on it and try to calm myself down, read into it, what's happened. But I can't be positive about it. I can't try and put a positive spin on it. So it came out last night that it was Matt Law from The Telegraph reported that Newcastle United are close to agreeing a deal for Harvey Barnes, West Ham's number one target by all accounts. Our number one target. We've been the front runners for weeks. The player wants the move. West Ham want the move. He's going to Newcastle now. West Ham haven't even bid for him. That's really annoying. Now, some people have said to me, well, maybe he wasn't a target. Maybe this has just been paper talk. Well, it's not. This is, we've known for a long time. Harvey Barnes, we're talking about from ex-WHU employee, Jacob Steinberg, I think Fabrizio Romano possibly has reported that as well. But Harvey Barnes is a top target for West Ham. Absolute top target. I actually felt losing Rice this summer, we're going to get that label of, West Ham are a selling club. They're a selling club. They're selling their best players, okay? Did a video a while back on this, and I said that the importance of getting Jarrod Bowen to sign a new deal. We've got to send the right message out. We've got to say, yeah, we're selling Rice, but look, we're still keeping our best players. That's just a one-off because he's so good and wants to go and win things, and he wants to leave. And I still stand by that with regards to Bowen. It's crucial. Again, that doesn't seem to be moving, does it? We haven't heard anything with that, but I'm not going to be negative. I don't want to be negative about it. So the Harvey Barnes one for me, that was one that made me feel that if we can get Harvey Barnes in, and there's no reason why we can't, he's just been relegated. He plays for a team in the Championship now. We've got European football, just won a trophy, come to London, we can offer him a good package, a good deal. There's nothing really stopping us to getting that deal done. So I felt that if we could do that, it would not only be a great signing, but it would send the right message. It sends the right message to people like Bowen. It sends a message, blimey, if we're attracting players of that standard, that calibre to West Ham, then this is the place to be. I'm really annoyed that the fact West Ham, for some reason, and we know what the reason is, have sat back effectively, not really done anything about this. They've sat on their hands. I'm not saying they've not done anything. I don't know behind the scenes, okay? I'm not going to pretend that I do. But let's be honest, you don't have to be behind the scenes to kind of see that we're not really proactive, West Ham. We never are. I've said this a few times, that it always feels to me that every time we get into a transfer window, it's almost like someone sort of wakes Sullivan up in the morning and goes, David, it's a transfer window time. Is it? Oh, right, we better start thinking about who we're going to buy. It's the same every year. It always feels like we're always behind. We're always... it even came out yesterday. I think it might have been Jacob Steinberg that reported this, that said that that the club still haven't even got a definitive list of their targets. What are they doing? Why? Why are we always behind? What are they doing? Why is it we have to wait until a transfer window starts and go, right, now we're going to start looking around the market? And I'm not saying that that's exactly what happens, but that's how it feels all the time. It always feels like we are way behind everybody else and we're chasing our tail. And this is just a prime example of that. You do know, okay, I was just checking before this, that it's been 5 weeks since Leicester were relegated, since the Premier League finished 5 weeks ago. And in that time, we've highlighted that Barnes was a number one target and we've not put a bid in. We've not made any progressive talks. We've not bought the play. Why? I don't like to especially talk about Arsenal and Tottenham and things like that, especially because of what's going on with Rice. To be honest, I'm bored of hearing about these clubs, but especially Arsenal. But Look at how they're operating. Look at how Arsenal have not only retaining all the players they want to keep. Yep, Saka, yep, keeping him. Martinelli, yep, a new deal. Yep, we get Saliba, yep, we're getting him to stay. Something we never seem to be able to do. We don't. I mean, honestly, I was thinking about this before I recorded the video. When was the last time West Ham got a contract extension for a player that's high value, highly regarded? I mean, please let me know, because I was just thinking about it just before I started recording, so I didn't go back and have a check. But I can't remember the last time we had a top player who's at the club go, I'm committing my future to West Ham. I can't remember. Declan Rice did it about 4 years ago. He signed a new deal, didn't he? For 4 years ago, something like that. And obviously he never signed another one again, so he's now left. Jared Bowen still hasn't signed a new deal. I can't remember the last time it's happened. I genuinely can't remember the last time a top West Ham player, one of the best in our side, has then committed their future to West Ham. I find that a worrying trend, that we just don't seem to be able to retain the players. But then you look at, as I say, look at Arsenal. So they've not only retained their best players, they identified Rice, what, 2 years ago, a year ago? Probably 2 years ago. West Ham have known for 2 years Declan Rice was leaving this summer. This was the summer he was going to go. Definitely last year, because there was that gentleman's agreement. He was going to stay for another year, had the armband handed over, but it was going to be, this will be my final year at West Ham. But we don't know who's going to replace him still. We're still mulling over this list. Why? What? They've had so much time to prepare for Declan Rice's departure. We should have gone. We know the players. We've spoken to representatives. We've spoken to clubs. We know who we're getting. We know how we're spending this money, and we know how we're going to build West Ham. And yet, here we are, about to kick off our pre-season, so effectively starting our new season. No new signings. All right, you've got Dennis Zakaria, who's apparently getting close to a deal, loan with an option to buy, whatever. I mean, let's be honest, this is quite straight. It's not bad, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad signing, but what I'm saying is it's not building everyone's excitement up. Everyone's kind of going, okay, because it does feel a little bit like we've done the scattergun. We're picking, oh yeah, we'll go for him, we'll go for Alvarez, we can't get him, he's a bit too much, we'll go for him. I hate the way that we do business. I really hate the fact we can't just identify who we want and go, we're going for him. If Alvarez is the number one target to replace Declan Rice, then we should be going for him. Why does it take until the summer for us to go, oh, they want a bit too much money? But why weren't you having this conversation a year ago? Saying, right, by the way, Rice is going, we want him. How much do you want for him? And these negotiations should have been taking place ages ago. And I know I'm ranting. I know I'm being negative, and I do apologise. I do try and want to keep things being positive. But this Harvey Barnes thing has really wound me up, because we have sat back, done nothing again, all because, and this is the basis of the argument from West Ham side, it appears, because they're waiting to get the Rice deal done. Why is that holding up? Why should that stop our team from speaking to Barnes, speaking to Leicester, getting a fee agreed, getting a contract agreed, even getting a medical done? We get all these things ready. I mean, I don't know the rules, okay? I don't know the exact rules. But what really annoys me is that we're not spending 100 million on Barnes, are we? So are we completely skint? Are we waiting literally? Have we got nothing to spend? Really? We can't cough up 25 million? Yeah, and by the way, you're not going to spend 25 million like that. You're probably going to pay 10 million up front. I just struggle to believe that we haven't got that bit around us. It's just such a naive approach from West Ham once again. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing the football club. It's frustrating the fans. And it just feels like same old, same old. You know, we're not prepared. We're not clinical enough when it comes to getting our business done. And I'm really, really annoyed. Really, really annoyed. And let's say that the Barnes thing in particular, you know, because of the player he is and the fact he was number one target, it's the one signing I really wanted this summer. It's the one I've looked at for, and I think a lot of fans share that. That would be the one sign you really want to see, because it just shows so much intent from West Ham. Now, look, who knows? West Ham might go in now, get a real big offer put on the table. It would change his mind and go to West Ham. That could happen. I really highly doubt it. The way the news is from the Telegraph is pretty much like it's a done deal that he's going to Newcastle. So I don't see that. But this constant delay of West Ham, this constant sitting on their hands, looking at these bloody lists of players, and it seems to take an age for them to decide who they want. David Moyes should know in January but who he's signing in the summer. The club should know. They should go, these are the players. These 5 players are our top targets, and we're going to get them. And if we don't get all of them, we might only get 3 or 4, but then we'll go to our second best. But they're the targets. I just get so infuriated with it. And people, you know, I've had a few comments to me on Twitter because I put up I was a bit annoyed about this Harvey Barnes news, and I tweeted about it. And a lot of people saying to me, well, it's not FIFA. You can't just pick players you want and just go in and get them. It's not easy. Absolutely, I'm not stupid. I'm very aware that transfers aren't straightforward and easy. But other clubs don't seem to struggle that much. Tottenham have just signed Maddison, from the same club. They got that one done, and I think they beat Newcastle to him. And Tottenham haven't got European football next season, but they didn't seem to struggle to get that deal done. He's in a Tottenham shirt now, and he's doing their pre-season training. So why is it we struggle? Arsenal just signed Declan Rice for £100 million. They've got that deal sorted out. All right, it didn't take 5 minutes, of course, but they got the deal done. That was the player they wanted, and they got it done. Why can't we be like that? Why can't we be clinical? Why can't we highlight who we want and go and get it done? And if you've got to sell Rice on the side, let other people deal with that. It always feels like we've got to do one thing at a time. Oh, no, we're selling Rice. Can't do anything else at the moment. We're selling Rice. Until we get this done, then I'll start thinking about players. It's very frustrating, as you can probably tell from my tone here. I'm not happy at all. As I say, the situation is just really annoying. I don't want to keep moaning. Obviously, apologies. I know this is a bit of a negative video. As I say, it could look. Who knows? I haven't had a full firm update from XWH employee. He has basically reported on what Matt Law has said and said this is how it's looking. Matt Law is a respectable journalist, and the Telegraph are very respectable. So you'd be surprised if it's not true. I'm sure it is true. I'd like to know what the ins and outs are and what's happened here. Because let's get one thing straight as well. People said to me as well, it's Newcastle, what are you expecting? You're right. Like, if you're Harvey Barnes, okay, you've got two options, West Ham or Newcastle. Let's take away our claret and blue glasses for a minute. You go Newcastle probably because you're going to look at them and go, well, Champions League, are doing well, young manager, there's so much more money, most likely. But then on the other hand, you could say, well, West Ham have got European football. It's London, big stadium. And with Newcastle, with their money, they might be looking to keep investing in more players. Would it be a couple of years' time that Barnes is no longer required? I don't know. So you might think of that. But what I will say is, though, when people say about Newcastle, that's I've got no problem with that. Like, I do understand that. What's annoying me, though, is that West Ham have been the front runners for Barnes. It's not as if we've just decided to go for Barnes and we've gone in at the same time as Newcastle. We've been the front runners for a long time. That's the bit that's winding me up. That's the bit that's really annoyed me because it's almost like, why didn't we just get it done? If he wanted to move, West Ham, and this is widely reported. Okay, this isn't just like Harvey Barnes was keen on a move to West Ham. Harvey Barnes keen. We're happy to do a deal. We can talk to Leicester. West Ham want him. He's our number one target. So why have we sat around for 5 weeks? What have we been doing in 5 weeks? What have they been doing? Waiting on Rice money to come in and then going fingers crossed no one buys Barnes. So that's how it feels. It's been to me, I know, sorry I'm moaning, but it has really irked me, this one. I find it really poor. I find it embarrassing. To be honest, being a West Ham again, people just laugh at us now again. It's just really poor. It's a top target gone. That's a top target for me gone. For us gone, I'm sure of it. It looks like he's going to go Newcastle. So it's a big, big blow. But what it does do, it puts an enormous amount of pressure on Tim Steeton. That's his name, by the way, apparently. That's how you pronounce it. That's what I hear. Unless I'm wrong, let me know, but I think it's Steeton. It puts a massive amount of pressure on him because he's come to the club. Now, he's the head of recruitment. This is his forte. So, look, it could be that Steeton's come in and gone, no, I know someone else. Don't waste your money on Barnes. I know. And if that's the case, fair play. But that's my point. We now have to go and get a replacement in, and we need to now go and see who we get. And there's big pressure on Steeton already. I do wonder what he must be thinking of all this, walking into this club thinking, that's our top target and we'll just let that one slip of that one's gone. It's worrying. There's a lot of talk about other targets that could be slipping through. I don't know all the details of it, but it does appear, once again, that West Ham are behind. We're chasing our tail. Everyone else is a bit more proactive and we're very reactive. We don't really know what we're doing. That's how it comes across. It's very annoying, but yeah, pressure is on for Steeton and he's got to deliver.